Something pretty incredible is happening to me. The other day I was talking about God's voice versus Satan's voice. Satan being darkness within, God being the lightness within. That's how I'm referring to those things. These words are from my childhood. In different instances, Satan and God, the darkness within, the lightness within, can push and lead in ways that take me by surprise. So for example, there are days when I am not feeling like doing cold anything, not feeling like doing cold showers, not feeling like doing anything that would be anything other than me cuddling up in like a cozy, sweater and my big boots and pants and all that kind of stuff. And at that point, then there's this voice inside me that says, no, you should do that. Like, no, you got to do this every day. There's this voice that kind of pushes me towards trying to do it. But really the voice that's leading me is this quiet, softer voice. So one of these voices has to be, I want to listen to the one that feels the best, right? This is what it is to use your feelings as guides. The most interesting thing to me, I think, that I can possibly even think about is learning the language of feelings, because this language never lies. And if I can get this language right, then I can do I can really just trust myself, fully trust myself if I can learn the language of feelings, which I totally am. And the language of feelings is going to be, I want to say it's going to be different for everybody, but I think it's just everybody has to tune in their own way. Today, the lightness felt like leading me into doing this cold shower. Like I knew I wanted it. I knew my legs wanted it. I knew my body wanted it. I knew my arms wanted it. I woke up feeling invigorated. And then there was this other voice that was kind of like pushing me to not do it. So there's like, oh, but it's gonna be so cold, and oh, it's gonna ugh. And what happens if I freeze my heart, kind of thing, and because I have this issue with neuropathy, where if I do something specific way, I haven't totally pinned down everything, then my toes, actually, I feel it in my toes, they get so numb. It's like a numb from the inside. It's not like a cold numb, it's a numb from the inside. And it feels really horrible, and it takes hours for it to warm up, even though it's not really about warming up, it's really about the nerve that's pinched, relaxing. And so, because there's no blood flow, meaning that there's no blood flow that's going to that. So anyway, so that's a voice in my head. And in this case, so whereas in a couple days ago, the pushing voice was telling me to do the cold showers, to do the cold exposure, and the leading voice was telling me, no, take a break. And today, the pushing voice, this darkness voice, was telling me not to do it, and kind of making me afraid of it, whereas this encouraging leading voice was telling me you're ready, you can do this. It's encouraging, it's leading, it's not pushing. And this is so beautiful, because I'm really starting to learn the difference, what lightness and what darkness feels like on a really on a much smaller, more or it's actually a bigger, a more expanded level, but it's more subtle. And it's kind of almost like when you turn off the lights and everything goes dark and it looks like it's completely black. But then after a little while, your pupils start to dilate and you start to see more of the light that comes in. So it's those subtleties that I'm starting to really be able to pay attention to, with learning how to, learning this language of feelings. Anyway, my skin feels great. My body feels warm. This is what's happening to me, is that I just feel so amazing. And then the other day, so yesterday I came back from my cold exposure run and a walk-ish. I just felt like I felt like stretching, and I haven't felt like stretching in a long time, like since the summer, maybe. I mean, that's gonna be 6 months ago, where I've actually felt like my body, like I want my body to just like stretch and to move. And I did a headstand yesterday. I mean, I used to do headstands for like 45 minutes, some kind of inversions. And while I was probably pushing myself at that point, not really doing it for the right reasons, like I felt encouraged. I felt like something was leading me to do this. And today, after getting out of the cold shower, I just was like, I could feel like my energy field, I guess, just go whoosh. And I mean, I wanted to stretch and like, oh, and it felt so good to just like not even take the water off of me, like with a towel, just to like just stretch with it on. And then I got, I kind of was like about to change, and my whole body just wanted to stretch. And it was awesome. It felt so good. And so this is one of those things that's like, what's happening to me? I feel like there's this energy and there's this light from within that's just like wants to expand and wants to get out, and it wants to push itself out, and it wants to just, and and I'm letting it, and but it's a process, it's a process of listening to what's leading and what's pushing, what's encouraging, what's discouraging. Is it discouraging? Oh yeah. Encourages you, discourages you. Yeah. Because there's a lot of stuff going on like that with like I'm going to do a video about this, but like I'm losing my hair. I used to have a lot of really thin hair, and I'm losing it like a lot. And so there are certain things that are kind of weird. I'm like, my body feels so like it's just going up and up and up, and it feels like it's getting so much better. But then there's this big thing that like losing your hair, I mean, by the handfuls, twice daily. If I brush my hair, the brush is full of hair, and this has been happening. And so like there's what is going on? Like how did I have so much hair? So eventually I might be doing videos with baby hair with nothing up there. We'll see. But anyway, that's going to be a whole nother video. I just wanted to do this as a kind of like a what's happening follow-up, because a new thing was happening. So it's this stretching, this moving, this really feeling just invigorated from the inside, and really learning more subtly this language of feelings.